Hi guys, how are we doing? Thought I hadn't done a video for a while, so I just got asked a couple of questions the other night, and I just wanted to go through them. One of the major ones was why predominantly my coaching is done how it is, and why it isn't kind of just set out as certain periods like I don't know, like a 10-12 week shred. The reason that I don't do it like that, and even if I am setting a time scale, I like people to be in control of what they're eating, and I like people to establish a good attitude towards food. So even if you see me setting like an 8-week diet up, I will always include foods that I could see those clients eating for the full year. So for argument's sake, it wouldn't be something like, right, you've got to eat porridge with berries for breakfast, that's your only choice, that's all you can eat. You've got to eat chicken with salad, with light dressing for your dinner. These sort of things are not going to be sustainable. There's no way that these clients are going to be able to eat that all year round. So basically, when I'm taking a coaching client on, the process that I go through is first establishing, one, what foods work for them, two, what foods are the problems for them, so something that they may binge on and they've got maybe a bad relationship towards, food dislikes that are not going to be going in the diet, food likes that can go in the diet. So I'll always say to a client, like, what do you find easy to eat, what do you enjoy eating, and I'll always try and include them in, and I think that is essential. I've got absolutely shed loads now of clients that have been following what I told them to do, and I've got ones that have been on plan for the best part of a year now, and you'll say to them, like, how can you stick to the diet for that long? It's because it changes. It'll change for certain periods. So I might have, for argument's sake, I'll give Luke as an example, one of my clients, Luke. So he came to me, he had a typical dad bod. We've used a period where he's shredded up, where his activity was high, his calories were in a place where his energy balance was allowing him to lose weight. We've now got him at the stage where he's on the best part of, probably off the top of my head, 3,000 to 3,500 calories a day. We've got to this lockdown period. Obviously his training's not going to be what it was pre-lockdown. So what we've done is we've just reduced the calories slightly for this 4-week period, just so that we're sitting at a nice weight, and then we'll bring him back in when his expenditure goes up. And I know Luke's body inside out now. I've worked with him since, I think, to be honest, it was the first lockdown, so it's not quite a year, is it? But I know his body absolutely inside out now, and we've got him to a stage where he's maintaining week on week, and then even when he gains, it's going to the right areas. It's muscle, and it's slow progression. I know exactly what I'd need to do to put him in a diet phase. I know exactly what to do to put him in a muscle building phase, and it's because of his consistency. Don't get me wrong, he's only human. He might have had occasions where he's absolutely binged at the weekend, and we've changed nothing. He's gone back to the diet, and eventually it gets to the stage where you can get away with these little slips, because they're not all the time, they're just there. This weekend he's just literally messaged me and said, Chris, I had a bad weekend last weekend, but I still do want a cheat meal, so anything I look forward to in this period, have you got any suggestions? So I've said, yeah, let's get me a menu, send me a menu over where you fancy eating, and we'll go for it. We might choose a Nando's, we might choose like a Cafe Passion Kebab or something like that. But things like that are important, so that people still have meals that are just slightly off, but they're not off. I know that they're going to be they're going to be good for the client, and they're not going to have any adverse effects. So yeah, I think what I'm trying to get at really is that for me, it's always going to be better to be able to do something long term, rather than something where you're going to stick to it for 8 weeks, 10 weeks, and then that's going to be it. It's like these Kickstart courses that I've just been doing with Jordan Powell. I refused, and in fact we all agreed, we refused to make the diets that restrictive that these clients were not going to be able to then come off that course and stick to the certain habits that we've made, you know. And I think that we've achieved that in the sense that we've had people that have come on the 8-week course, then they've come on it again because they enjoyed the eating that much. And I think this is essential. I really, really do think it's essential. It's all well and good when you see these companies floating these before and after pictures of, oh, look what she did in this amount of time. What was her life like in that time? Because I can assure you, if it's an 8-week transformation, he or she will have gone through a lot of sacrifice to get there. And that's not saying that that's not something that I advise doing. You know, if you're, for argument's sake, when I was dieting for my bodybuilding show, I spent 16 weeks living in an uncomfortable place. But this isn't just your everyday people that are coming here just to look a little bit better. And to me, you've got to weigh your goals up and make sure that they marry up with what you're actually doing. Why should you have to eat like a nut in order to achieve your goals? Why not do it slow and steady? Have someone monitoring it. Believe me, this will always be the best period. There's a reason why people say things like, for instance, they might say, oh, Slimming World worked for me last time. Right, why are you saying it worked for you last time? Why has that not continued? Why have those habits not carried on? Why are you having to go back to doing that? You know, it's things like this. You'll always hear it. You know, oh, I did this, I did that. It worked really well. No, it didn't, because you've put your weight back on. So how did it work well? You know. So I just wanted to just give that as a bit of an example of why I do things like I do. I'll never restrict things, and people take the piss out of me, you know, saying, well, why do you let your clients eat bagels? Why do you let your clients do this, do that? And it's solely because I eat like that, and I believe that within reason a calorie is a calorie, and as long as there's a reason for why you put something in a diet, it don't matter to me, you know. If someone wants to eat a Nando's chicken feta every night in their life, it doesn't matter as long as it's something that was put in the calories, and this is why I do it like I do. So yeah, I know that I sound like a bit of a stuck record, but a few people have asked me about the 8-week shred and that I'd done with Jordan, and why that was what that was different for the coaching. Basically, the 8-week shred is more of a group. And again, it's not something where I'm going to be starving them or anything like that. It's something where I'm going to be creating good habits, and from there they either come to me as on the coaching, so that it's more one-to-one, or if they like that group setup, which it is, which a lot of people thrive off, they might start, you know, go again. But it's certainly not a 8-week shred and that's it, you know, go, that's it, leave you, you know, go back to eating shit and then come back to me in fucking 6 months. It's not that, and that's what I'm trying to base myself around, really, and making sure that people do stick with it. So yeah, I just thought I'd leave you with that. I don't think there's anything else I do want to cover on that, but I will start doing more content. I've been absolutely rammed over the last few months, but it always hates me in the phone. Over these periods where obviously I'm not able to personal train, it just gives me time to reflect and time to just do these videos and you know, help people out. So if you do have any other questions, or anything that you want answering, you know, I don't mean for you to have to pay. I don't mind giving free content. Just get the questions across, and I don't mind doing videos. So yeah, thank you guys. I hope that's been helpful and giving you an insight into how I do my coaching, why I do it like that. Cheers, thanks.